Hey, hello guys, this is Karthik from executeautomation.com and welcome to Selenium Tidbits. And in today's Tidbits, we're going to talk about Selenium Grid parallel execution in multiple machines. So this video is actually a continuation of Selenium Grid's understanding and configuring. So please watch that video before watching this video since this video is going to be a slight continuation of that particular video, right? So, distributed architecture. Again, we already discussed about distributed architecture in Selenium configuring understanding video. And in this part, we're going to just discuss how to make a design which looks something like this. So we already did Selenium server, also known as the hub, as a host machine, which is nothing but our Windows 10 machine. And then we also configured our client, which is nothing but a virtual machine running in a Hyper-V technology. So, which is nothing but the node. So we already did all these configuration. And right now, today, we're going to run this particular test in both the host machine as well as in the guest machine, which is nothing but the hub as well as the node. I'm going to execute the test in both of these operating systems seamlessly, which is nothing but running a same test in a different machine same time parallelly, which is so cool, right? And that's what today we're going to do. So parallel execution. Now the question is how to make parallel execution to happen. Is this something which is coming out of the box with the Selenium Grid? Of course, yes, but we also need the parallel execution to be achieved using a testing framework, which is nothing but TestNG. So in TestNG, there is an option called parallel, which you can see from here. You can see that there is a parallel suites, and here you can set the thread count to be spawned in a particular time, and also the parallel that you can set for a methods or a tests for the classes or the instances. So you can set whatever you want to run in parallel at the same time. So this is very cool feature of TestNG compared to JUnit, because you can configure them in a XML file, right? So let's not waste our time and flip to Eclipse and start working with TestNG and the TestNG custom XML suite. So again, if you want to learn more about TestNG, we have already created a separate video exclusive for TestNG in our Execute Automation channel on Selenium Framework Design and Development playlist. Please go ahead and watch videos in that particular series, right? So I'm not going to talk more about Selenium custom XML file or something like that, right? So I'm not really going to deal on all those stuffs right now. So rather, we're going to directly create a TestNG class into our previous project, which we already created in our previous video of this video series. So please again go back and watch that video before watching this video, since as I already told, this is going to be a continuation of that video. All right, so here I'm again going to create a new, but in this time I'm not going to create the class. Rather, I'm going to create a TestNG class, right? And if you guys are already familiar with it, you already know what it is. So I'm going to hit next, and then here I'm going to call this guy as a parallel test. Awesome. And let's add some annotations like before test and hit finish. All right, great. And so we have a parallel test method available here. So I'm just going to paste it right here. So because this is before test. All right, great. And what I'm going to do right now is in the before test method, I'm going to copy some of the codes like this. I'm just going to copy all these guys, right? Because this is something to be happen before my test execution to start, setting all the desired capabilities and everything, right? So I'm just going to copy paste, maybe cut and paste right here. And then I'm going to save these guys. And here the code is already gone. So this code will be unhappy. So again, let's not make this unhappy. I'm just going to cut this code as well. And I'm going to paste it right here, right? Super. So add throws declaration. Great. And now everything is great. So now we have a before test and we have a test method as well. And here let's call this as Google search. Let's save this code. So this is for searching within the Google, right? And then what I'm going to do is let's make this one as well as a generic. All right, just finding in the control there. And also, once we search the Google, we can see that the execute automation code, the execute automation page comes up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create one more method like public void uh, click execute automation. So this is the method, and I'm going to create something like driver dot find element by partial link text of execute automation. Yep, pretty cool. Again, I'm going to do a dot click. Awesome. Right? Super. So now we have two test methods here, and this has to be decorated with a test annotation. And now if I try to run this particular test, guess what will happen? It just executes, right? So let's try to execute this test, run as TestNG test, and you can see that the test will run now, hopefully. So it opened the browser, it's opening the Google, and it's going to search for execute automation. All right, so there is a delay problem. That's the reason that it didn't click the particular link, I think. Unable to locate the partial link text execute automation. Right, so we need to somehow add a very bad thread dot sleep method here. No problem, just for now, bear with me. I'm going to add 3 seconds of delay here. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, just a thread here, so bad. All right, super. And then so it is working fine right now, and once you execute it, you can see that it's actually working with what is called as a custom testng file from this particular location, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this guy into my Sublime text, or Control O of this particular text, right? And this is the XML file which is automatically created for me, right? Instead of doing this way, all I want to do is just to execute my test parallelly to be executed into both my machine as well as the virtual machine. So for that, as I already told, in TestNG, there is a option called thread count, and I'm going to set this to 4 just in case. And then we have something called parallel. And here you can set this parallel for tests, not the methods, right? You can get all this detail from the TestNG documentation. So right now, our focus is just to run this test parallelly in multiple machine, and the demonstration is for Selenium Grid, not the TestNG. So I'm not focusing more on this part right now. Great. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this guy, the test, and because I'm going to execute 2 tests in 2 different machines, I'm just creating a placeholder here, and let's call this as the name of the test as win10, and let's call this guy as win 8.1 or win 8 underscore 1. That's what it means, right? Awesome. And here for the classes, it is pretty fine. What I'm going to do is instead of the class ending here, I'm going to create a class here, and also I'm going to include some methods here. So the methods are going to be like the 2 methods I actually have, slash method. Awesome. And also I'm going to include the method. So include name is equal to, so what is the method name? It's actually Google search. So I'm going to copy this guy and I'm going to paste it right here. Let's close this stack, and also include name is equal to, I think it's click execute automation, right? Let's copy this and paste it right here. Great. So these are our methods to be executed, and great. And now there is one more thing which I'm going to add here for our flexibility purpose, which is nothing but the parameters, which is very important right now. You'll understand why I'm adding the parameters in a minute. So in the parameters, I'm going to add something called parameter, and the name is going to be, remember, we need to pass something called platform, right? So I'm just going to create that thing, the placeholder. Now I think you will understand what I'm really meaning. So it's Windows 10. I don't know what is the value of Windows 10 operating system yet. I haven't tried it. So let's try to register this and see what is the value it brings me up. Yeah. All right. So here I'm going to go to the Android and the libs and Java hyphen jar and Selenium standalone server, and I need to make this guy also as the WebDriver. So which is nothing but I'm going to register one more machine. So my own machine I'm going to register into a hub as a node. And the hub is going to be the URL which is already there. So I'm going to copy this URL. I'm going to copy this guy and I'm going to paste it right here. Awesome. And I also want to set the port number as 5557. I think the last time I set the port number as 5557. Okay, so if it is 557, then maybe for differentiation purpose, we'll make this as 5558. Great. Now if I hit enter, you can see that even there is one more machine registered into the server. And now let's go back to the UI and let's try to hit enter, and you can see awesome, there is one more configuration. And if I go near here, the bad news is even this one is considered as win8 underscore 1. So both Windows 10 and Windows 8 is considered as win8 underscore 1. Maybe this jar is a older version and this operating system is pretty new. I think the development has not yet started, or maybe it's in progress. I'm not pretty sure about that. So right now we don't have any confusions to go with. It's win8 underscore 1. So win8 underscore 1 it is. And I think win is a capital letter. So I'm just going to pass that one as well. Great. And let's close this parameter. And let's create one more parameter. And let's name this as a browser name. Browser name. And the value is going to be, this time, I'm going to execute my test into Chrome. Right? And I also need a remote URL. So you will understand why the remote URL I require in a minute. So just hold tight. And the value is going to be, you know what it is? Of course, I know what you're thinking. The remote URL is going to be this guy, the registered nodes. So I'm going to copy this guys and let's paste it here. /wd /hub. All right, so now I think we have created a super cool parameters and super cool classes, and everything is all set to go right now. So I'm just going to delete this default test informations like that. So I'm just going to copy this guy and let's paste it here because I require this for my win8 underscore 1 machine as well. So here, instead of Chrome, I'm going to execute this into Firefox, and I'm sorry. I think this is going to be 6. And this is 7. Okay, 7 is correct. Okay. So now note that this win8 underscore 1 is nothing but our virtual machine, which is running in Hyper-V. And this win8 underscore 1 of Windows 10 is actually my local machine. So I'm going to save this, guys. And right now, I'm going to change this code a lot more than compared to the one which we already had, which is nothing but, let's go back here. So instead of this kind of hard-coded code, I'm going to use a annotation called, you should be familiar with this, which is nothing but the parameters, right? and parameters actually accepts a array of values. So here I'm going to pass the platform, and I'm going to pass browser name, and I'm going to pass something called as remote URL. And then I'm going to close this braces here, and parameters is something which I need to import. So I'm going to import this TestNG parameters, and let's pass these guys something like this. I need to also pass this as a parameters for this method, else you cannot use this guy. So again, I'm going to pass string, remote URL. Great. I'm going to save these guys, and here let's put a if condition. If the browser name dot equals Chrome or Firefox, maybe Firefox, then you do this, right? Else, or maybe let's put an if condition itself, no problem. If browser name dot equals it's Chrome, right? Then you do a different kind of thing. Okay, so maybe this is something which I need to reuse, right? So I'm gonna cut this guy and paste it here, and I'm gonna set this guy as maybe null, and let's put the cap there, uh, and the cap is equal to new desired capabilities of Chrome. Great, that's it, man. That's the code. And here for the platform, again, the platform is going to be win8_1, which is hard coded right now. We don't have any other Go. So even we don't require this platform, but still I'm just putting this as a placeholder there. So don't worry about this platform. It still works because win8_1 is for both Windows 10 and 8.1 operating system. That's how Selenium is right now recognizing. So don't worry about that. And also we need to set the capability. So why don't we do like this? Else if um, we will set the cap dot set browser name as Firefox, and it will set the capability, sorry, cap dot set browser name as Chrome, right? I'm going to save this, guys. Awesome. And the platform is going to be generic for both of these versions, so no problem with that. So I'm going to delete this code as well. And right now the code is a little bit modified. And one more change we're going to do is instead of this hard-coded URL, I'm going to paste something called remote URL. That's it. Awesome, right? Great. So now I'm going to save this code. And one more thing which we need to do is copy this XML file. So I'm going to open this file. I'm going to just copy this guy, and I'm going to my project. I know where this project is actually sitting, and I think I can put it right here. Great. And let it be like this, no problem. Let's try to refresh this project, and you can see the XML file is there, and you can even open this and see what is this particular XML file looks like. So this is how the one which we created right now, it's pretty correct right now. So right now our quest is going to be achieved. I have my Selenium node running in my Windows 10 as well as in the Windows 8 machine. And now to run this particular custom XML file, right click this and run as TestNG suite. And if you execute this, hopefully the test should run, but there is a problem. What is this? Cannot start the new session, possible cause invalid address of the remote server, or browser startup failure. So you will get this kind of problem while running the Chrome in a remote WebDriver environment, because it's actually very meaningful, right? Because see, this Chrome actually requires a Chrome driver to be available in the remote machine if you're running, or in the local machine if you're running. So the remote driver, we have not set the path anywhere using the set property method. So for that reason, we are getting this kind of problem. So in order to avoid this problem, what we should probably do is we need to set the environment variable in our machine for the path of the Chrome driver. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to search for the environment variable. I can show you how it looks like in my machine. So just click this environment variable, and here in the path, what I have did is I have just set the f colon slash android slash libs. Actually, if you see that particular path, see f colon backslash android slash libs, you can see that I have this Chrome driver. So I have set the path of the directory of the Chrome driver in the path of my environment variable, right? If you set this and if you restart your machine, you will actually see the problem will be gone. Now your Chrome driver will actually take the path of the Chrome driver from that particular location, right? So I will restart my machine right now, and in a while we will see that this problem that we are facing right now will be gone. So I'm going to pause for a moment. So welcome back again, and I have restarted my machine, and right now I can see my virtual machine is running with the same node. Also my hub is running, and also there is one more instance of node is running in my local machine as well. So everything is all set, and all we need to do is again let's try to run this and see how things works. And this time hopefully, since I have restarted my machine, now it should run fine. So I'm going to just hit run TestNG suite, and now let's see, and you can see that Chrome is right now running in my local machine, and similarly in the remote machine also you can see that the Firefox should be instantiated by right now. All right, so Chrome is pretty fast. It's just completing its test execution. In the same time, the Firefox also has opened there, and it is running in the Windows 8 machine as well. And that's the beauty. So now, right now, you're just running the test in parallel at the same time with two different browsers, two different operating system, and you have achieved the same kind of testing two different machines, which is awesome, right? So fast and so quick right now. So this is the real purpose of your Selenium Grid. And now you can see that we have this Windows 10 test has got passed, and also the Windows 8.1 test has got passed as well. So we can see the two results here as well. So that's it, guys. This is how you can perform the Selenium Grid parallel execution. So thank you very much for watching this video, and have a great day.